Hello wrestling fans, the Wrestling Wizard here and welcome to Wiz Reviews Smackdown. Now I'll be completely honest with you, this show didn't exactly set the world alight. It was alright, there was arguably a match of the year on the show, but I get it, WWE don't want to use all their tricks, they don't want to spoil all their surprises in of course the lead up to next week's Bad Blood. By the way, I have a full WWE Bad Blood 2024 predictions video up on the channel tomorrow, but bear with me, I did film that prior to this week's episode of Smackdown, so I didn't know what was going on with the Nia Jax, Bayley, Naomi, Tiffany Stratton situation, so that'll become clearer when you watch the video. But that's another story. Let's talk about this week's episode of Smackdown. And as always, get down in the comment section, share your thoughts and opinions. What did you think of tonight's show? As I said, I didn't think it was fantastic, but it did open with the Apex Predator, the Viper in Randy Orton. A ridiculous ovation, the fans lapping it up. Just loving Randy Orton. I love it when they sing his song now and voices one of the most iconic wrestling themes in WWE history. And surely at this stage, it's hard to imagine WWE ever turning Randy Orton heel again. Imagine if they turned him against Rhodes. The fans, the majority of the WWE fans, surely would side with Randy Orton. I know I probably would. It's just a badass you want to get behind and just don't think it would really make sense to turn him heel ever. But why was Randy Orton there? Why was he dressed for action? Ready to go? Well, in a nutshell, he wanted answers from Cody Rhodes. He wants to know why Cody Rhodes is teaming with Roman Reigns. And also, us WWE fans want to know why. And do you know why Cody Rhodes decided to tag with Roman Reigns? Because he didn't want to be known as a coward. He would rather be known as a fool. Which is crazy because why would you team with Roman Reigns if you're Cody Rhodes? You can't trust the OTC. You can't trust him in a million years. He could turn on a dime. And he hasn't exactly been babyface eat your heart out. The fans have loved and lapped up Roman Reigns since his return. But he hasn't really given us answers. There's no real sympathy shown. He's alluded to Jimmy. He's alluded to the wise man. But where was he when the wise man was in need? But basically there's one man that's not happy about all of this, and that is the prize fighter in Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is livid. He doesn't agree with this whole teaming up thing. He came out and basically made it quite clear that that was his opinion. And then of course we got that wannabe tribal chief, the Bloodline 2.0, these savages, these outliers in of course the Bloodline 2.0. With Solo Sikoa essentially saying that Cody Rhodes is a smart man. He's a wise man, no pun intended, teaming with, of course, Roman Reigns. Because after all, Randy Orton and Kevin Owens couldn't get it done. They couldn't defeat this new bloodline. So you've got Solo sort of poking the bear. Owens not happy. Owens snapped. He basically issued a challenge to Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu, a tag match. Cody Rhodes tried to get involved, but Kevin Owens was having none of it. He wanted it to be just him and Randy taking on the bloodline. No 6-person tag. He didn't want Cody Rhodes involved at all. And of course this sets up some really interesting storyline progress heading into Bad Blood. And at Bad Blood, will Kevin Owens turn on Cody Rhodes? Because at the end of the night, even more shenanigans went down. And we'll get to that in a moment. Next up, we got Bayley versus Naomi in a matchup for the #1 contendership for the women's WWE title at Bad Blood against Nia Jax. I feel this has been a really confusing way to get there, but nevertheless, it was a good match. I actually thought Naomi delivered. There was one mistake in the match that I can remember, and I can't actually remember exactly what it was, but I remember there being something a little bit botchy. But overall, I'm not going to complain. An awesome elbow drop to end things. And of course, Bayley gets the victory. No complaints there from me. But one real interesting talking point was the fact that backstage we saw Nia Jax, how should we call it, lose her rag. Literally try and strangle Tiffany Stratton. Don't do that to our Tiffy. Like, how dare you? So clearly there's going to be more friction teased between the two of them. Is Tiffany Stratton seeing the light, realising that Nia Jax is really just using her, I'd probably say in a way, as an accessory, literally, sort of giving her this new briefcase that she's had for the last couple of months since the Money in the Bank, making it look like she's a friend, but deep down Nia Jax is just out for herself. We know that, and maybe Tiffany can see that in the future. Maybe Tiffany Stratton cashes in on Nia Jax at Bad Blood. Wait and see for the predictions video, the thoughts and opinions on that. But either way, it's going to be Bayley versus Nia Jax for the WWE Women's Championship at Bad Blood. And it's going to be a good match, but I've got a feeling it ain't going to be clean. And I've got a feeling that a certain Naomi might cost Bayley the match, but we'll have to wait and see. Next up, we got what was one of the matches of the year, in my personal opinion, between Carmelo Hayes and Andrade. Absolute fire match. Honestly, this delivered on all levels. One highlight I absolutely loved was when Andrade delivered a power slam on the apron while he was between the ropes. I thought that was absolutely badass. Overall, a fantastic match, but the match wasn't really the talking point. It was prior to the match, because of course Andrade wasn't really that thrilled about LA Knight. Basically said he didn't show him respect with a handshake. So there was beef over this handshake. Andrade not happy with LA Knight, feels that in a way disrespected him. There was no sort of honour and respect there. And then out of nowhere, and I think this is one of the best attacks I've ever seen backstage, Carmelo Hayes wiped the living daylights out of LA Knight, so much so he disappeared, he vanished past the crates. That was one of the best shots I've ever seen. Honestly, it was badass. But of course, that affected the match, because of course LA Knight came out for revenge on Hayes, but inadvertently ended up costing Andrade the match. Andrade not happy, scrap between the two of them. It's going down, isn't it? Eventually we're going to get a triple threat match between the three of them. It's going to happen, sign me up, and it's going to be absolutely badass. But as it stands, of course, predictably, Carmelo Hayes getting the victory, tying the series 3-3. We're going to get a 7th match, aren't we? And then we're probably going to get another one after that, and another one, and another one. And to be honest with you, yes, post-feud, I can't really see where the two are going to go. But for the moment, I'm enjoying this series. These matches are honestly on another level, and it feels like it's sort of catering to a slightly different part of the audience that WWE would be typical for, or typically associated with, should I say. But what do you think? Are you enjoying the feud? Do you want to see another match between the two of them? As always, get down in the comments section, share your thoughts and opinions. Next up, we got Michin versus Piper Niven, and let's face it, this is not exactly going to set the world alight. This feels like certainly a little bit of a filler. When you think the opening segment of SmackDown went for like 20 minutes when it didn't need to, it could have been 10. It feels like these type of matches are just fillers, and that's absolutely fine, because Chelsea Green and Piper Niven as a dynamic, as a duo, are must-see, especially Chelsea Green wearing those, gardening gloves, dumpster gloves, whatever you want to call them, and trying to help Piper Niven, but actually ended up in the end costing Piper Niven. And then of course, boom, eat defeat, Michin smashed it and got the victory. Michin got the last laugh. I don't mind the dynamic between these three, kind of works, and I'm a massive fan of Michin. I think she's massively underrated. So of course that headed us on to the main event. Kevin Owens issued the challenge and we got the match. Kevin Owens and Randy Orton versus the Bloodline, specifically Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa. I love how Kevin Owens completely ignores Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. Just goes to the real big dogs within that faction. And actually you could say even at this point, Jacob Fatu only feels like the main credible act in the Bloodline. Someone that you could genuinely see as a next undisputed champion of the future. It was a good match, back and forth, but you know in a Bloodline match there's gonna be some form of screw job. And of course there was. Now Kevin Owens did say backstage to Cody Rhodes not to come down to the ring, not to help. Did Cody Rhodes listen? Of course he didn't. Now Randy Orton did say he should come down if the Bloodline get involved, and that's exactly what Cody Rhodes did. But in the end, Cody Rhodes ended up costing KO. KO had the match won. Stunner, ready to go for the pin. And then out of nowhere, Jacob Fatu launches Cody Rhodes into the referee and ends up costing Kevin Owens. And Kevin Owens, if he wasn't pissed before, he is seriously pissed now. This is going to be intriguing moving forward. Surely at this point we're going to get a Kevin Owens heel turn, and never before have I really wanted to see it, but now at this point, is it justified? He's sick at the thought of Cody Rhodes teaming up with Roman Reigns. He told him not to get involved in this match. He's cost Kevin Owens, and Kevin Owens is sick and tired of the bloodline. He's sick and tired of Cody Rhodes now at this point, and surely he's going to snap. Is he going to play a part at Bad Blood? Is he going to cost Cody Rhodes? Because he don't care about Roman Reigns. He don't care about the bloodline. But at the moment, he seems very focused on Cody Rhodes. And very upset with Cody Rhodes. So, will he cost Cody at Bad Blood? Will he turn? What do you think? Get down in the comments section. And to summarise the show, looking ahead to, of course, next week. I didn't think this show overall was fantastic, but next week's show is going to be a banger. Because, of course, next week we are going to get a fire tag team match, a triple threat tag team match between DIY, the Street Profits, and the Bloodline. Who's your winner there? Who's your pick? Let me know in the comments section. And of course, we found out on this week's episode of SmackDown that we are going to get the return of the phenomenal AJ Styles. Next week he returns, and I'm trying to be optimistic here. I hope they've got some good creative set for him. I can't believe post Cody Rhodes feud they didn't have anything for him creatively, which sounds like madness because the phenomenal AJ Styles can still go at it like never before. He's in the shape of his life. He's got more miles in the tank, and I genuinely feel that he can hold it at the top, if not a mid-card title, and get some success there still in his mid to upper 40s. He's still got so much to give. What do you think? Like, am I overselling AJ Styles at this stage of his career, or do you think he's got more in the tank? Because I think he has. Thank you for watching the video. As I said earlier, I got a full predictions video for Bad Blood 2024 popping up on the channel tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. And as always, it'd be very much appreciated if you could like the video, share the video, and even better, subscribe if you're new. Catch you in the next one.